What's good, everybody? What's good? You already know it. It's another conversation. It's your boy JTL right here.
What's up, Mr. Man HD?
You know, uh, opposite from the norm. Do us a favor, make sure you hit that like button, share, comment. Or whatever you're talking about, and definitely
Subscribe, all that. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Tell everybody.
do it out all that. And also, don't forget, we want you to check out gfam.com, gfament.com. I'm sorry, gfament.com. That's the site where y'all can go ahead and check out um, where we have the shirts on there for opposite from the norm. So if you want to get a shirt, we got that on the website. We also got the shows on there. And I'm also putting some other good stuff on there. So y'all make sure y'all get a chance, go to gfament.com. gfament.com. All right, so
And
we're gonna
go in
go
there and support some black businesses. Y'all
support.
always saying
Oh,
y'all want to support our people. Support us. Support my
Jay,
man.
tell them HD. That's real talk. So we got some good shit for you tonight. My man HD was looking up some stuff he had been, seeing a couple times. I think we talked about this for like about a week now. So you've been checking into it. So I'm gonna let my man HD go ahead and kick it off for y'all.
Yeah, the topic that I wanted to hit on tonight was with all of the things that have been going on, this year with, unfortunately the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and some others. And a lot of people are saying that, we need to be in search of a leader. We don't have a black leader, a la back in the day when we had Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Angela Davis, etc. Nowadays, there isn't a clear voice or a clear person or persons, a group, whatever, that will lead or spearhead us in the direction that we're trying to go. It's just, some people over here, some people over here. You may have one person that you may think is going to step up and be a leader, and then you find out something about them, and then it's like, damn, that person let you down. And I just been looking at a lot that has been going on is the internal breaking down of the house. I always go back to, one of the quotables from one of our leaders back in the day that says, we have to clean up what's inside of our house first before we can let other people in or worry about cleaning up what's outside the house. And what's going on inside our house within the black community and black people is that there's always so much tearing down of each other, of pointing out certain things, when someone's trying to do something good or trying to at least put a step forward, there's always someone from within our house tearing us down. And it just really came to ahead with me when I was viewing, some of the things that some people had been saying about Beyonce. For people who follow her, even if you don't, I know you've heard about the movie that she came out with, Black is King, that's on Disney Plus. And I did go ahead and view it and watch it from beginning to end. Um,
But
it
don't
isn't
forget to
a
let them know. Hold on, H. Don't forget to let them know how you feel about Beyonce, which I can concur with, just in case
oh
people
yeah,
are
I
let them know.
I'm I definitely watched it from an unbiased point of view because I'm not a big Beyonce follower fan. There's a lot of things that she has said and done over the years that I don't agree with. Even some things that I may find kind of distasteful or whatever, but that's for another day and another time. But point is, I'm not part of no beehive or bayhive, whatever you call that shit. And I watched it just objectively, and you know, of course, the first thing up is that we know that Beyonce is not Angela Davis. She's not Harriet Tubman. She's not any of that. She's a singer, an actress, businesswoman, wife, mom. That's what she is. And for the people who are looking for her to be Angela Davis or Harriet Tubman, you playing yourself because that's not what she is, and that's not what she's even claiming that she's trying to portray. But there are some things that she did do, with this movie, with having an all black cast, not having any white people in the entire movie except for she had a white butler, which that caused a big uproar with people trying to call her a black supremacist and things like that because she wanted to have a movie that is portraying black is beautiful and just getting to the essence of being in Africa. Um, all of I don't know if it's all, I don't want to misspeak, but I know a lot or majority of the outfits and clothing that she wore in that film were by black designers. She had all these black dancers, young and old, and she was really trying to just hammer home that black is king, like the name of it, and that black is beautiful no matter if you're a lighter shade of black or a darker shade of black, whether you're a man or a woman. All of it is just to say Africa is beautiful, and if you're black, you're beautiful, and black is king. We don't have to look at ourselves as second rate people or second rate citizens. We are kings. We're kings and queens. And she just got so much black backlash about that, and people saying different things about her. And it just really stung at me that we can never try to move 3, 4, 5 steps forward because we always got to take some steps back because someone is always trying to tear someone down that's within the same house. We have black men and black women just hammering her, just going at her, calling her names, disrespecting her, saying that she's trying to capitalize on this and just spewing all these things at her. And it really just hurt me that we can't ever just get it right. We can't ever get it right. We're always trying to bring down someone, especially at a time where something like this is needed, where we need to keep hammering, especially into little kids, that because you're black, that doesn't mean that you're ugly. That doesn't mean that you're less than. That doesn't mean that you're not as smart. It's hammering even to some older blacks who may be teenage or in college or just getting out of college who may feel kind of down about the things that are going on. We need positive images like this, even if she's not the biggest social activist or she's not someone who's out in front, leading charges. At least she did something. At least she's out there doing something. She has donated money. She has actually even spoke up about some things. And this is coming from me, someone who's not even a fan of hers, but just is saying, hey, this is a woman who's damn near a billionaire who's actually just doing a little bit, even if it's just 2%, 2% out of 100. At least she's doing that to bring forth, like, hey, we need to be going in the right direction and we need to be uplifting our people. And there's so many people that are trying to call her a black supremacist. Like, why can't we be happy that this woman wanted to have an all black movie? Why can't we be happy that this lady is trying to put on black dancers, black singers, black rappers, black people who make clothing? Why can't we just be happy for her and say, yo, this is a step in the right direction, or this is a triumph that this black lady is doing an all black movie on Disney. Disney's not a black channel. Disney isn't owned by black people. Yes, they're gonna make money off her. We know that. Yes, we know that Disney is just pushing her up front so they could get subscribers. But at least she did something. At least she made
And
a movie that
and
was about us.
let
And
me ask you.
I'm just so sick and tired of we as black people always trying to bring other blacks down. And like my partner JTL has said in many of these talks, it's like everyone who's coming at her or come at anybody who's coming at anyone who's trying to do something, it's like, what are you doing? If you're not doing anything to bring black people forward or to push us forward, you need to keep your fucking mouth closed. Because at least Beyonce or whoever else you want to name, it's just not about Beyonce. It's just this what happened was the final straw for me. If you see someone that's donating some money, or that's trying to start a charity, or that's trying to start a protest, or that's doing something, don't bring them down. Go look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what am I doing?
Hey, let me add something real quick. See, I want to say this. I seen something where she came together with the NAACP to help give black owned businesses with helping with funding. Now this is our thing. Me and you both feel that we don't know about the NAACP no more. We don't trust them like that no more, especially if it's supposed to be the advancement for colored people. Then why y'all got white people on the board? So this would be my thing. If I knew Beyonce, I would, instead of talking about canceling, I would try to counsel. Like, listen, I don't know about them, or do you feel you're structured and protected good enough that they're not going to just be using you? Because the same thing you said with Disney, while they talking about black supremacists, you got to realize that's a white-owned billion-dollar company with billions upon billions of dollars. They even own Marvel. They got billions upon billions of dollars. So if we have a problem with that, why don't you try to counsel versus cancel? If we feel
Exactly.
like the same thing I said with Nick Cannon, I'm not mad at nobody for how they feel because I know what it is. It's coming from a hurt place and disappointed place where so many black people we like, yeah, that's what's up, and then they do something. We're quicker to say fuck them then because it's coming from a hurt place. But I'm thinking the certain people that's really trying and making moves, just like my partner HD said, if they're trying, why don't we try to counsel them and try to help first? If we do that and they be like fuck us and they always want to run the white people, then we say fuck. Go
And
ahead.
it's like, a lot of people have to do things in their own way. Like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't have made a movie that came out on the Disney Channel, but guess what? Everybody does certain things in their own way. Maybe I would try to go out and shout certain things, but this other person wouldn't. Does that mean that they're wrong? Do I need to yell at them and nitpick them? No, they're doing things in their own way. And like my partner just said, instead of trying to tear them down, we can have a talk with them. But what does everybody want to do? Run to Twitter, run to Facebook, run to Instagram, and disparage us. How are we gonna make it? It's hard enough that we got them, the man, who, the whites, coming at us all the time, trying to bring us down, shooting us, killing us, calling us names, talking about us behind our back and now to our face. And how are we ever gonna get over this hump if we got them sitting on top of us, and then we have other blacks that are sitting on top of us, like the main ones, Candace Owens, Terry Crews, etc. Now we have people who are just not even famous people. People who may be lower level rappers like No Name or whatever the fuck her name is, or just even regular everyday people just trying to pounce on others who are at least doing something. And once again, like we talked about, if you're not doing anything, if you're not out there uh, on ground zero, getting your feet dirty, getting your hands dirty, trying to do something, you need to keep your mouth closed because all you're doing is setting us further and further back. That's all you're doing is setting us further and further back. And then when you want to bring up people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all the people who paved the way for us, think about that. How would they take that? How would they, if they were alive today and they seen all these people trying to pounce and pounce on Beyonce or whoever, how do you think they would feel? They would be telling you, hey, young brother, young sister, that's not the way. You're fighting somebody that looks like you. You're fighting someone that's the same race as you. Why are you doing this? And I don't know if all these people are doing it just to be famous or just to get clout or trying to get their name out there, but you're just setting us back. And all it's doing is having the whites looking at us, pointing, saying, look at these dumb nigger monkeys fighting amongst themselves. We ain't even got to do anything to them because they fighting amongst themselves. That's all they're doing. They just sit back and laughing.
I
Right.
think also what's sad about that, you got somebody like No Name. As we spoke earlier, the only thing you seen from her was that she donated $1,000 or something. It's like, so you mean to tell me that, like we said, we're not no big Beyonce fans. You know what I'm saying? We might have thought she was fine when we was younger when she first came out, but as we got older, it's more important things as we look into a sister, especially what they're doing. So if we gonna compare somebody to somebody, all right, look at No Name. My partner HD said all he's seen is she donated 1,000. We seen
Now I
Beyonce.
don't. Now hold on, just in case there's other things like if she says that she donated silent money or whatever, whatever. That's just the biggest thing that I found that she did. She may be a part of the protest or setting up charities or GoFundmes to organize or raise money, but the point is when you have somebody like her who's on that level, the level that Beyonce is on. She's on basically the highest level that you can get as far as stardom, popularity, name recognition all around the globe in China,
She's worth like
Australia, everywhere.
$500 million.
She's at the top of the top that you can get when you say about being famous, wealthy, and all that. She don't got to do nothing that she don't want to. She don't have to donate a penny. But this woman has donated millions of dollars, not just one or two, millions and
Let,
millions and
let
millions
me
of
say this.
dollars
Let
that
me
she
say.
doesn't have to, that she's
Let me.
doing it because she wants to. And a lot of the stuff that she does not do it with a name on it. There have been a
Let me.
lot of people who have said that she's donated so much money to something and no one never even knew it because she didn't put her name on it.
Yeah. Let me say. Let me say this. Let me get back to the point. All right. If No Name thinks she can compare herself, like you said, the only thing we've seen, and this is my thing. I'm gonna say this afterward. All right. From what we've seen from No Name, the only thing that we've seen is her always trying to call Beyonce out, her calling out J. Cole. All right. And then she donated $1,000. Beyonce, her and Jay-Z bailed out Black Lives Matter protesters who was arrested. So they put money towards that. We seen that Beyonce and her father have organizations that do things for people in her hometown of Houston. We seen that she's done this and bringing light to injustices, but also showing love to Black Africans that make music, that do fashion, that do hair, and putting them in the movies. Then we seen that she did the protest performance at the Super Bowl. Then we seen in her videos that she's done protesting. No Name, all we seen is her hating. So my thing is this, just like when they did with Umar Johnson, and I'm not saying we fuck with him like that no more either. But what I'm saying is this, for everybody that calls out these people, what are you saying that we need to put in place of that? Because my partner HD said earlier when we spoke on the phone is that she was like, why doesn't Angela Davis get all this love the same way? Why don't, instead of you trying to shit on Beyonce, why don't you show more love to Angela Davis? Why don't you show more love to Asada Shakur and the females that was in Black Panthers? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you, instead of just saying we need to get rid of these people, here goes some people right here that we should be showing love to, or doing more that you could be doing instead of wasting your time and energy hating. Why don't you show more people or do more things that can help our people and our cause? Because if you're going to take away one thing, you got to replace it with something. So anytime we call somebody out, unless you're ready to do the movement, then you can't do that. So that's, in my personal opinion, make me feel like No Name is clout chasing and people like her is because you'll have a lot of people that's Twitter gangsters or Twitter activists that'll go off on Black people that's doing nothing in their own life. And my partner HD can tell you personally, I'm big on stuff like that where I'm gonna always question somebody who's calling somebody else out. HD will tell you in our own private conversations, if he says something, I would question that. Just like he'll do the same thing with me. Like if I say, well, maybe we can do this, he'll be like, I don't know about that, Jay. Why would you say that if we talking about doing this? So if we do it with each other and not cancel each other, but counsel each other, then why don't you do that? And then like HD said, look at the level Beyonce's at and what all that she's done with her accomplishments. She's not a political leader. She's not an activist leader. She's trying to do whatever she can to help with the movement, her and her husband. They're the type of people who work hard for what they have. So we can't expect them to give everything to us. Their thing, especially Jay-Z, is I'm gonna give you a good look. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna help push you in a position and push your name so you can do what you're trying to do because I support it. Just like Nipsey Hussle got so when he said when he had put out his project for $100 and so many people tried to clown it, Jay-Z was like, well shit, I'm gonna buy 100, give them to my folks, and I'm gonna put that out there to help you in your grind. Him and Nipsey Hussle didn't even know each other. But he was like, yo, I'm gonna help you out, young brother. Some people give other people alleys to help them. That's what they're good at. So Beyonce and Jay are good at bringing awareness with entertainment. Now, like we said, we're not the biggest fans of them. We used to be, big Jay-Z fans. We said he's done questionable things, but we're able to give people respect and credit for what they do. And we'll say on some
Right.
counsel part or critiquing part, like that probably wasn't a good move. Hopefully he does better.
Yeah. Cause I'm not gonna sit here and say I like everything that Jay Z does or everything that Beyonce does. I don't, and I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, I like all the people that they're buddies with. However, it's like I was saying, instead of us tearing each other down, bring each other up and counsel, like my partner's saying, like if you see this person over here doing some effed up stuff, well, we need to holler at them, or maybe even if you ain't on their level, maybe you can like reach out to somebody who may be on their level to say, hey, this person over here has this idea, would you mind hearing it or would you mind listening to it? And it's just a collective. I just pointed out her because of what's going on right now with her being in the limelight a lot because of this movie. But this topic is just in general. Like we need to stop tearing each other down. It's kind of like when is that ever going to stop? When is that ever going to be a time where we're going to come together as a collective and stop tearing each other down? Even if somebody is over here just speaking at a youth center and you're like, oh, why you ain't doing more? Oh, he ain't shit. He ain't shit. He just speaking at a youth center. Well, at least that brother or sister is doing that. At least they're doing that little one piece. You should be like, yo, okay, I'm proud of that person over there that they doing that. Maybe that should make me step up, or maybe that I could take that and say, you know what, maybe I need to do something over here. And we need to stop giving these people ammunition because that's all it's doing is giving them ammunition. And as I said, they're just going to sit back and say, look at these idiots over here fighting amongst each other. That's exactly what they want us to do because we're never going to be able to climb to the top of the mountain if we don't climb together. That's the bottom line. All those people who they try to bring up from the past, that's what they wanted us to do, to come together as a collective to fight the people that are trying to hold us down. So we got them holding us down. Then we got people within our own house bringing us down too. So instead of having one anchor on our shoulders, we got two anchors. That's the main thing that I would just wanted to share and spread. Like we need to stop doing the finger pointing at others, point the finger back at ourselves, and then look at what the other person is doing and give them a thumbs up for even doing something. Because there are some people out there who don't do a goddamn thing. They don't do nothing. They don't donate no money. They don't try to counsel. They don't even try to read up and educate themselves on ways to help or ways to get better. They don't do shit. So when you see a brother or sister doing something, we should applaud them and keep moving forward. Period.
And I want to say this: we definitely not really, we definitely don't give a damn about no Don Lemon. But we agreed that we was happy the way he did Terry Crews ass. He was like, "Yo,
Right.
so Black Lives Matter is a separate thing. That's about injustices. Why don't you try to
Right.
start?" And I just looked it up. Terry Crews is worth $20 million. So why don't you take some of your millions of dollars? Why you calling out other people versus doing anything? Why don't you take some of your money? Like Don Lemon said, and try to start what you're saying. Start an organization to do some of those things that you're talking about. You're capable of doing it. You have money. You have fame. So if you feel that it's other things we could be doing, do it yourself. That's my thing. Like I be saying now, instead of me always just calling out somebody else for what they're not doing, why don't I try to do it on my own? Why don't I say, all right, you know what? That's the same way. Like say if I'm a rap artist, right, and I'm looking at the rap game and what angle I want to come from. I'm gonna look at the angle that nobody's touching on. That's gonna differentiate me from other rap artists. So you know what I'll do? Let me go in this lane. Let me create and pave out my own lane for the people that I want to speak for them to go down this lane. You know what I'm saying? Let me make my own shit. So that's how you can do it. You can be like, you know what? Y'all missing out on this. Let me go ahead and be the first one. Because what's funny is for people like Terry Crews, I feel like he's a coward because most cowards will say something about what somebody else doing, but they're scared to do what they're calling somebody else out for. You're afraid to do it. You don't want to take the losses. You don't want to be the one to rock the boat and mess up what you got going on for master. So you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna just call them out because they messing it up for me. That's basically what he's doing. You're calling out people that you feel is messing up for you. You're feeling like, oh, well, if you do that, you isolating white people. Why? Because they sign your checks. What took me out because after he got the one dude fired and sued and got paid millions of dollars off of that lawsuit, you gonna sit there and tell me that wasn't rocking the boat already? So why would you be sitting up here calling black people out when you got old white dudes playing with your balls? They're playing,
Right.
they're
Exactly.
playing jingle all the way with your nutsack, and you worried about what black people should be doing? You should be calling, seeing if there any more white dudes that you can call out that's out there being misogynistic and abusive and sexually abusive to black women. That's what you should be doing out there, standing up for your sisters. Because if a white dude did it to you and you 6'2", 240 pounds of muscle, and they still disrespected you, imagine what they doing to our sisters. You should be
Right.
standing up for our sisters. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be on the other side trying to protect white people. Like I was saying to my partner earlier, do white people really need black people to take up for them?
They don't need your motherfucking help at all.
It's
Period.
200 million, over 200 million white folks in the United States. And it's 40 over 42 million black people. Do you honestly think they need a coon to take up for them that they don't respect?
Not
No,
at all.
they don't need you. So why are you taking up for people that don't need you against people that do need you?
And here's a novel thing. Why don't you think about this for those house niggas like him? The old saying, if you ain't got nothing good or nice to say, shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. We don't need you out here pandering and tap dancing. We don't need you on our side. We don't need you to speak for us. We don't even need you to speak with us. If you don't have anything good to say about the blacks that are out here who are trying to do things, who are trying to make change, just shut the fuck up. Go to do your little show that you got and keep tap dancing and wearing pink shirts. Go do that. Go over there. Just leave us alone. We don't need you. We don't want you. All that stuff that you're doing, you're just holding us back. You're just delaying us getting to where we want to go and where we need to go. So just stay over there. Go somewhere else. Leave us alone. Don't comment on what we're doing. And the comments about black supremacy. Listen, man, that's dumb. It's stupid. But even if there was somebody that was trying to say, hey, you know what? We need to look at blacks as this right here and they're powerful. There has never been one time dating back to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, any of those people, when they were saying black is powerful, black is beautiful, black, the black woman is Mother Earth, there was never any time where any of those people were ever saying, you know what? Y'all motherfuckers are way below us. That's always them saying that. So if they want to shout out all this black supremacist verbiage, where are you getting it from? because we're saying Black Lives Matter, because we're saying stop killing us, because we're saying stop planting drugs on us. How is that equate to us saying you as a race are below us? I don't recall ever hearing any of these people saying that, or when any of these things that happened with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all the people like Stephen Jackson and everyone who's talking, who's preaching, who's making statements. I don't ever remember hearing any of these people saying the white race is beneath us. So if you want to say some shit and you want to try to sound smart, at least get it right. At least get what you're saying, the stupidity that you're saying, at least get it right.
Because you see, like Steven Jackson and other black people that they're saying, yo, like that's what pissed me off with Candace Owens punk ass when she said the bull she said, because Steven Jackson is the main person that was on the front line speaking for his homie that he calls his twin, God rest his soul, God rest George Floyd's soul. And he said, for my white brothers and sisters, stand with me. If you ain't standing with me on this, then
Exactly.
I can't fuck with you. He's there.
Right.
So that's why it pissed me off when you're talking about, oh, black people trying to make him into a
There
martyr.
was no hate
Fuck
coming
that.
out. There was no
Fuck,
hate coming out. None.
fuck what you're talking about those people. Talk about Steven Jackson. He's the frontline person. He didn't say nothing like that. So you mean to tell me you go past him and then talking about black people trying to make such and such a martyr? It's like, yo, if y'all notice, she never says anything about innocent black people who got killed. She never said nothing about Trayvon Martin. She never said nothing about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Tatiana Jackson. She never said nothing about Botham Jean. Like all these black people that's been getting killed since last year or before that, she never talks about them innocently. When the only person she tried to say was David Dorn, got arrested. So this was an older brother, retired police officer that tried to help protect one of his friends' businesses. But she said that to make it look so bad. Now, we're gonna do HD point of view for this show, but I'm just gonna give a hint of what God we're gonna talk about next time when it comes to the numbers. Real quick. It's over 42 million black people in this country. And then you mean to tell me the people that commit crimes, now it is something that we are talking about. Like we do talk about, like what we're talking about right now is a problem within our own community, and Candace Owens perpetuates it. So does Terry Crews. We talking about now the self-hatred part. So we are talking about right now. This is a perfect example of what we're talking about that we need to work on. But you got, it says, from what I've seen, is we're gonna do a full show on this little one. It's over 2 million situations that black people are in when it comes to crime, whether it's a serious crime or like misdemeanor crime. But you mean to tell me, so those two something million negate the other 40 million? This is what I have a problem with. You mean to tell me we're gonna sit up here and shit on our people for those 2 million people and act like the whole other 40 million people or black people are fucked up? That's a lot, and that's what we're talking about right now. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the other 40 million black people are fucked up because of what other black people choose to do. They don't talk about the numbers and separation unless it's about white people. They'll say, bitch like Candace, all these white people, yeah, I mean, it's more white people and they do more crimes, but black people, we ain't got that many and we shouldn't be that high on the crime list. Well, explain to me why, when white people do something wrong, you still give them the benefit of the doubt. That's
Right.
self-hate. This is something that we need to conquer and overthrow in our community, is this self-hatred shit that we got going on.
And once again, like they always say, who taught us to hate us? They did. Simple and plain.
What Brother Malcolm says, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught
Right.
you to change your hair and hate your hair? Who taught you that right
All
was
that.
ugly? They did.
Right. They did.
But people don't want to really address that in the way we should. And the only way we can fight it is to look within ourselves to see what's wrong. And not everybody's going to do the same thing. Like, this is another thing that has me distraught is the fact that, okay, she's talking about we need to lead a plantation by leaving Democrats, and me and HD whole things, no, we need to come together and make our own shit. But if black people still decide to be Democrats, all right, that's their personal choice. They have that right. While you're saying you're not trying to get us to do this and do that. Like she lied on one of them shows. I seen her show or whatever, and she was talking to somebody. She told me, "I'm not trying to get black people to do anything." But you keep saying black people need to lead from being Democrats. Why they can't be Democrats? Let them be Democrats and try to make it better because you're trying to make the Republicans better. I mean, you gonna say and act like you not? They've been wrong. They've been racist. They've been slave owners too. So why would you sit there and act?
Yo, my man, you go out.
Huh?
Oh, my bad. It kind of sound like it went out. Go ahead.
No, it probably did for a little bit because my what's it called switch back on my Wi-Fi. But I mean, to sit there and act like they didn't do wrong things to us and they wasn't slave owners is bullshit. That's not the truth. You had
Right.
Abraham Lincoln, they owned slaves. Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. These was prolific Republican leaders, if you want to call them that, and they was racist. So explain to me how you gonna sit there and act like they never was and they always been the best. No, they haven't. Republicans didn't fuck with us like that unless they wanted to get our vote. They didn't care about us. So if black people want to be Democrats, let them be Democrats. Let's stop talking about, oh, they don't need to be Democrats no more. Why don't we say, all right, what we can do to be better? Or point out the Democrats that are hurting black people, like, hey, y'all need to watch them Democrats, my brother, my sister. Watch out for those people because they hurting us. Y'all need to get them out of y'all leadership or positions of power, whether they're in Senate, office in your city or state. Yeah, listen, my brother, my sister. I'm putting you on the game. I found out such and such did this. Y'all need to get them out of it because they messing it up for you. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing with okay, we have brothers and sisters that decide they want to still be hanging out. Our thing is gonna be like, hey, be safe and be smart. I can't make you not do what you're doing. But just try to be safe and just try to be smart. That's what you do. That's just like if you have a friend that's not making the best decisions. I'm not gonna say exactly what, but it is not making the best decisions in life. You just pray for them and hopefully, they do better. Like I remember when I had this one job, this guy I was working with. I ain't care for him sometimes because some shit he did, and then he apologized to me later. We became cool, but he was just telling me some things in his life that that happened to him and some people that he cared about was making bad decisions. And he was like, you know what? I don't pray for them to stop. I pray for God to make sure they safe while they doing what they're doing until they get enough. So if you have black people that decide to be Democrats, hey, be safe, be smart, or let me give you some game to help you out in your situation that may help y'all, you know, um, push forward a little bit better as a Democrat. Not just, oh, y'all just need to leave them alone because everybody not going to leave them alone for some heifer who only 32 years old, 33 years old. You going to tell a 60-year-old black person that being a Democrat for all their life is work for them and somebody who has more experience and wisdom in life than you do, they're not gonna listen to you. They're gonna like, man, if you don't get your young ass in my face, but if you come to them, you know what I'm saying? If you come to them with some real shit, like, look, man, I seen this, I got the facts and proof. That person y'all got to get rid of. They'll probably listen. But if you come into them, man, I know what we need to do, like that secret white supremacist cracker J.W. Lucas, fuck him. Oh,
Right.
I know what
Exactly.
y'all need to do. I know what y'all need. Fuck that motherfucker.
You don't know
Because
nothing. You not us. You not with us.
you is not black. So you can't come to somebody's house, like HD said, you can't come to somebody's house and then think you finna rearrange the furniture, bro.
Right.
No,
You
you
you you don't belong in this house. You're not even welcome in this house. Matter of fact.
and you think you got the right to come in and say, y'all got the wrong furniture. I'm gonna take all this furniture out. No, you can't come in my house and arrange a motherfucking thing. Point and
Exactly.
blank period. Don't even try to do what you think you finna do. Like, you need to chill the fuck out with that bullshit. I forgot. Before I forget, it was something I wanted you to speak on again. One more thing with the Beyonce uh situation, because you was telling me something you seen, and I'm trying to think if you already touched on. I know you touched on the no name situation and other people. Oh yeah, yeah. You were saying that you were seeing from guys, black dudes, also from our, a lot from our people saying that thing. You brought up what they was talking about with the Butler situation. So I want you to speak on that real quick too.
Yeah, just briefly. In the movie, there's a scene where Beyonce and Jay Z have a white butler, and it just really bothered me that people had an issue with that. That's where a lot of that, oh, she's a black supremacist coming into play, and it's like, why the fuck would you have a problem with a white person working for us? That's been the way the shit has been since the beginning of fucking time back to slavery, where we were working for them out in the field, in the house, cleaning up after they kids, cleaning up they shit, cleaning up their yard, shining their shoes. Like, why would any black person have an issue with the image being changed? Going back to those movies with Mammy and Pappy and the blackface, and any movie back that you 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s where you would happen to see a black person in a movie. What were they? They were a maid. They were a butler. Yes, sir, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir, ma'am. No, ma'am. So why would anyone have an issue with, now we're in 2020, the tables can be turned? That now there are some black people who have money, who have wealth, and now we can say, you know what? I don't want another black man shining my shoes. I don't want a black woman in here scrubbing my floors. I want someone white doing it. That part just baffles me, and I just don't understand why anyone would ever have an issue or have anything to say with that. Once again, there were no whites in the entire movie except for one white man. They made a movie, an entire movie, an hour 25, hour 30 minutes of all blackness, all black cast, and there was one person in there. Yeah, there was a butler, and so what? That is what we have been since the beginning of time. Why can't we turn the tables for once? We do something one time, we're wrong. But this is something that they've been doing since the beginning of time, that they're doing to our great grandmother, our great grandfather. I just don't get it. And once again, it's that pandering shit. They're trying to pander to them to try to stay on their good side, and they're bringing us down. That's exactly what they're doing, bringing us down. And anyone who wrote in or commented about that towards her, you get a middle finger from me too. Fuck you too. Straight up.
Yeah, because what I don't get is how when you told me that shit blew my mind. I'm like,
It blew
wow.
my mind too, because as I told you, it weren't just women, it were men making comments. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, do you stand up to pee or what? Like, the fuck? You got a problem with that? Like, these people are rich and wealthy. They can hire whoever the fuck they want as a maid or a butler. And you got a problem that they went and hired one of them? What?
Yeah, I
When this
couldn't
is
believe
this is
that.
the stuff that our great great grandparents had to suffer through, that there was no other thing that they would allow, fuck, that they couldn't, there was nothing else that they would allow them to do except be that. Just think about that. You weren't allowed to do nothing else except for shine my shoes, boy. Just think about that. That's something that our great grandfathers, they couldn't, no matter how smart, classy, educated that man may have been. The only thing you can do for me is shine my shoes. Just think about that shit. Just imagine how you would feel
Girl,
today.
fuck.
Today, you go to try to get a job somewhere thinking, hey man, I got a little education here. I got some brains, and you go walk into the office, and that man tell you all you can do for me is shine my shoes, and I
You ain't got
paid
no
15
choice but to
cents.
take it because you got a family at home that you got to feed.
Exactly. Thank you.
And it just
You hit
blow my
me
mind
with that.
because it's like, how you mean to tell me that you gon' say she's a black supremacist because she got a white butler working for her? Like, what kind of black person are you? Like, how woke do you really think you are? If you gonna sit there and say she's a black supremacist now, you think that's actually helping our people move forward? Calling them out on that? Are you kidding me? So all the other things you could call Beyonce and Jay-Z out on, you call them out on having a white butler or making an all-black movie. It's like y'all want to be white so bad.
So bad.
You want white people to pat you on your head so bad. This is, and I remember HD. You told me this like some years back of how when you was at a job, I forget what job you was at. It might have been Mercury or one of them insurance companies you was at. Well, they out of business now, so it don't. Well, he don't work there no more, so he can say that. My boy's smart. He had one of them good clean jobs. So, but I remember you told me when you was at, I think it was there, that somebody was there working with you that was black and trying to brown nose, and even the white supervisor was looking at him like, "Get your nose out my fucking ass!" Like
Mm-hmm.
you were
Yep.
saying, like they don't even like that, and that's what we got to realize
Oh
for
no,
all those
that's for the
standards.
company that I currently work at
Yeah.
Paychecks. I'm not afraid to say it, and I ain't
Mm.
afraid to say the motherfucker's name, Jacques.
Oh shit!
But yeah, I ain't one of them motherfuckers who do subliminal jabs. I go straight for the throat. I say names.
Damn, he Corey Holcomb tonight, boy.
That's right. I say names.
But
Always
that's what.
brown nosing and tap dancing, thinking that
Yeah,
that's the way to the top.
and you said it yourself, like you seen that they don't like that. So, and this is my point. It don't matter what race you are. If you real motherfucker, you a real motherfucker. Like Nipsey said, guys. So he was like, because he was having an interview and with somebody, and he said something about somebody being stand up, and he put in this point before the interview could say it. He was like, and it doesn't mean you have to be from the streets to be stand up. He like, I know some people in the office place that where do the 9 to 5 that stand up people. So for all these people that's trying to pander to white people, a lot of them don't even like that shit. They be looking at you like, at least the real ones, be looking at you like, bro, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You trying so hard to appease to me that you shitting on yourself and a whole race of your own people just to make me like you. And really, I still don't like you. You
Mm,
got white people that still will not like your ass because you trying to kiss their ass. They respect people that work hard like they work hard because
right.
certain people like that, no matter what race, gonna be looking at somebody else who trying to do that shit from another race. Like, what the fuck is like? Hold up, you gonna shit on yourself and your people? How am I supposed to trust you? You might do
Right.
that to me. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
why a lot of people don't like brown noses because they looking at it like, hold on now, if you a shit on your own people, like you got people that are shit on their own family members to get ahead with somebody else, and if that person real, they gonna be looking like, hold up. Like I remember Sammy the Bull, even though he a snitch ass motherfucker, he said something that one of his bosses said. He was like, his boss had seen this one guy out and he was cheating on his wife. And not only was he cheating on his wife, he was at a place that everybody knew him and his wife at. So
Mm,
he said he had a conversation with the dude and was like, "Yo, you you love your wife?" And he was like, the dude was like, "Yeah, yeah, of course, of course." He was like, "You love me?" And the guy said to the boss, like, "Yeah, of course I love you." He said, "Well, I hope you don't love me like you love your wife." And
mm,
I was like, damn. Like for people that get that, like, if you don't get, let me break it down real quick. He's telling him as a boss and a made guy, a boss in the mafia. He's telling him, if you would disrespect your wife like that, what would you do to me? So for
mm,
real motherfuckers, they look at brown noses like that. If you willing to suck up and kiss ass this much and not have dignity and respect for yourself, What would you do to get my job? What would you
Mm.
do to get above my position? What would you do to steal my shit? So that's why people don't like these brown noses, and that's why it's real important that us as a people stop trying to do it, man. Don't know these people do not give a fuck about you like that. They don't rock with you like that. This another way I'm gonna say that people we being stupid. Do you actually think Disney is listening to you? Do you honestly think Disney agrees with you over Beyonce, motherfucker? She's gonna bring in millions of dollars, and she's doing it by representing her people, and then you gonna try to say she's wrong? Right now, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm with Queen Bey, so
Right.
gonna have to go suck a dick so, because more people love her than y'all stupid 2,000 people that's talking shit about her. It's more people, millions of people, not only y'all people that love her and fuck with her that's gonna fuck with this shit. That's something huge. And this is what people not think about. Like when Brandy was doing movies with Disney Channel, that was huge. That was a big look. You know what I'm saying? When they did the Cinderella, that was the first time you seen no, I'm sorry, second, because you had Richard Pryor, Diana Ross, um, Michael Jackson, God rest their souls, and God bless Diana Ross. You had these black people that redid the Wizard of Oz. That was a big thing way back in the late 70s. Now fast forward to 2020, and you got well, my bad, you got early late 90s when Brandy did Disney World, Disney Channel, when she did the first black interpretation of Cinderella. Now you got Beyonce fucking with the Lion King, Black is King, doing her own production thing. That's a huge look. The same thing with Black Panther. Now I'm not saying that once white people give us the okay, give us the nod to do something to represent our people, that's when we doing something. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to create that and bring that to Disney. She didn't have to get with her people and create something like that and bring it to Disney. She could have just brought out more shit about Queen Bee and her being the baddest bitch in the land. She could have did that. No, she did something huge for black people when it came to the Lion King. Then she did this Blackest King. So it's like, what else do you expect for an entertainer to do? This is how she represents her people. But she does a lot that we see and that we don't know. So somebody worth $500 million, her husband is worth $1 billion. They're doing great things in what factor they know. So if they make a mistake, they're like, all right, well, let me try something different. Counsel, like, hey, maybe you could have tried this. You know what I'm saying? I still support you, sister or brother, but maybe you can try this. And I think that's what we need to do more of instead of thinking, oh, yeah, we need to call them out for doing white people wrong. Mm, stupid motherfucker. Stupid,
It's
stupid. A damn shame, boy. Huh. Um, so H, did you have anything else you wanna drop on this
nah.
topic?
I feel we dropped very good on that. Nah, I'm good on that.
Okay. All right. So y'all, I guess we're gonna go ahead, stop the show. But God willing, like I said, we got more to come. Some more serious topics. We're gonna, like we said, we're gonna try to make sure we throw a little few fluff pieces in there just to keep it laughable and enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? We don't want it's already enough heavy things going on now in this world.
Right.
Um, so we don't want to just, bring y'all down when y'all listen to the show, of course not. But we wanna we still definitely how we do like nobody else does is make sure we bring lights and different opposite ways of thinking when it comes to what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the main thing we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're good at, being opposite from the normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we do it. And also, don't forget, y'all, I'm going to say it again. Make sure y'all go to gfament.com, gfament.com to check us out on that site. Like I said again, you got the store where you can buy the Out from the Norm t-shirt. Make sure y'all check that out. When you go on the
Mm-hmm.
site, gfament.com, go to the G store, and that's where you can go ahead and find the t-shirt Out from the Norm. If you want to go ahead, man, make sure you support your boy, especially if you support black owned businesses. Make sure you check that out. And then you also can go to our page on that website Out from the North 18. You can always check on that to see what else we're doing besides just on YouTube. You'll be able to go there and, keep updates and all of that great stuff. So, you know, show some support, man. Show some love to your boys. So we're going to go ahead, wrap it up. We're going to end it here. Once again, you already know what it is. This your boy
Yeah,
JTL right here.
that's your man HD. I'm out here.
Yeah, so we're gonna fuck with y'all in a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely get back up with y'all, bring y'all some more great content. Once again, God willing. So we're gonna holler at y'all. Make sure y'all do what we told you in the beginning. Like, share, comment, and definitely smash that subscribe button. We're gonna get at
Right,
y'all like chill.
right.